Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Crypto Blitz, where you can get your fix. I'm Ripple Van Winkle, your host. I hope you have a fantastic day. Wednesday, March 26th, is a classic hump day halfway through the week. You are aware of what that implies. The live stream ends at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tonight. I'm eager. I adore these live broadcasts. We hope to see you all there, but in the meantime, we have a fantastic movie ready for you. People, we have a lot to discuss about the current state of cryptocurrency. BitBoy, folks, he is incarcerated and won't be released anytime soon. He is being detained without posting bail. The man who once had everything now has nothing at all. Is XRP poised to overtake Bitcoin? We will dissect it in this video. How is Bitcoin flipped by XRP? How can we get there? How does the price of Bitcoin compare to that of XRP? We will discuss the market capitalization of both. We will discuss the usefulness of XRP in relation to the store value of Bitcoin. After dissecting everything, we'll eventually Ripple verse the second. Finally, it's over. Last night, Stuart informed us of all the roti notifying you of the completed lawsuits. We'll discuss it, people. Thus, without more ado, let's dive straight in at $88,287 for Bitcoin, which has increased 1.29% over the last day. I apologize, but Ethereum is currently up 13% at 2,074. USDT will arrive at the dollar peg. Since XRP is a mean lean, USDC is coming in at 99 cents. Not a question I get asked a lot, but $2.46 total cryptocurrency market cap, $2,865,000,000. My DMS has been going through the roof. They have been exploding up, and many are wondering why the price of XRP hasn't increased. Detonate completely. What is XRP? The news that the Ripple against SEC litigation was finally coming to a finish barely fazed me. Well, it's really easy. Once we received the security designation or announcement, the news and XRP price were already set. It has been some time since we learned, probably a few years ago. Perhaps a year ago, XRP wasn't a security. That was it. The price increase was visible to us. We witnessed the price skyrocket. The status of XRP is unrelated to the remainder of this lawsuit, or how should banks and other financial institutions want to use it. XRP can be included into these financial tools. The final decision in this case concerned Ripple and the way in which Ripple was offering these institutional clients XRP. That was the crux of the matter. As a result, Ripple's fine dropped from $125 million to $50 million. You can twist and spin it in whichever direction you like. People claim they were fined and didn't win. They did win, according to some. Look, they won by a landslide in the end. They were able to understand XRP. Their new president is pro-crypto. What was the amount of the fine reduction that allowed them to continue operating within the United States? Over 50%. People, this is a huge victory. For them, this is a huge victory. Right now, the only thing we're waiting for is the SEC to come out and simply say, okay, it's over, and then let us know all the news. Visit thecryptoshop.net to get your crypto merchandise if you haven't already. It's linked below, particularly if you visit XRP. We got the tumblers in Las Vegas. Everybody needs a decent XRP for themselves. These tumblers have laser engravings on them. Perhaps you should pack a tank top, hoodie, t-shirt, or coffee mug for your trip to Las Vegas. I adore Vegas. Don't forget to check it out. $35 with free shipping, man, BitBoy. Look, I'm not sure how to feel, but I'll be honest with you. This guy had it all. He had everything that anyone in the cryptocurrency world could possibly desire. He has a channel on YouTube. He was receiving outrageous compensation for doing marketing, such as $30,000 to $50,000 for a 2-minute YouTube ad. Indeed, he performed a great deal of work, including scams and pump and dumps. He possessed all of the world's wealth. Even though he was sitting courtside, would you swap your family for him? Would you trade all of that for what he was doing and where he ended up? I know some people are out there saying, well, I would control this better. I would be able to manage this better. You don't know, folks. This stuff gets to you, gets to your head. He traded his wife and children for a younger version of himself who is obviously no longer with him. He is currently incarcerated as a result of the mentality component of it. There is no bond, so I'm not sure when he will leave. That's some very severe shit, since they had an arrest warrant to get him to a different estate. I will say, what does this signify? Michael asks himself. As a sign that its protracted illegal struggle with the SAC is coming to a close, Ripple has decided not to launch a cross appeal. All right, simple ripples. Hey, lowered fine. We both concur. What will work for 25 to 50 now? Let's just get on with our lives. Let's discuss this. Did anyone notice the pricing error that we observed here? This is a fascinating story, and the price of XRP is rising immediately following the news. 21,000 people, that's not where I'm predicting it will go. You wish to discuss XRP swapping a Bitcoin 21,000 XRP then? That will definitely do it. I'm not recommending that. However, my point is that when we examine XRP and contrast it with Bitcoin, it's easy to see how we get there. In contrast to Bitcoin's store of value, XRP is a utility. High fees, sluggish transfers, and a digital gold store of value are all features of Bitcoin. What are we discussing here? XRP. In contrast to Bitcoin, instant settlement replaces a whole broken, antiquated financial system that is utility-driven and offers up to 90% cheaper fees for cross-border payments. The demand for XRP may surpass Bitcoin's speculative hole as a result of its practical adoption by banks and other institutions. Recall that the only reason individuals currently own Bitcoin is because they believe it will outperform gold as a store of value. The fact that there are more than 18 XRP ETFs further suggests that many of the bigger businesses and institutions are interested in participating. That is enormous. Let's now discuss one of Bitcoin's weaknesses. When comparing the benefits of XRP with the drawbacks of Bitcoin, the main problems with Bitcoin are its scalability, energy consumption, and extremely slow transaction speed. A bit more than 1,500 transactions are processed by XRP every second. Compare that to the 7 TPS of Bitcoin. Environmental issues, Bitcoin mining uses a lot of energy. Even if XRP is green, you may be aware of the tweet that surfaced when we discussed XRP and Swift and how they were able to take 10% of Swift's market share. Consider where it would have placed XRP's price at that particular moment. The SAC versus Ripple case was the toughest obstacle of all people. That's finished. The president's obstructionism and the SAC Commission's lack of initiative were the main challenges. All of that is also completed. Therefore, the largest obstacles to XRP are currently behind us. What will it require now? What will be required for XRP to flip is the question. So, if we start